I don't know how you can download them and maybe send them or put them into some folder on the drive. I still need to try and
I'll
figure
put them
this
on
out.
the I figured it out. I'll put them on the YouTube account.
Okay.
Just confirm, did you guys receive a link yesterday from YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, that's the YouTube account that I
Cool.
created. So I'll put these videos on there as well. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. I'm just gonna observe from here on. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I spoke to Liz. I'm going to use Atlasville as an example because Atlasville has a lot of missing information. So it's not just the access boxes in the joints that's missing. The routes also, the cable routes doesn't 100% correspond with the PDF document. So I'm going to show you guys what to do if you find something like this. So let's call it worst case scenario type of capturing that needs to be done. Okay, let me just share my screen. QGIS. Okay. So I've added the geopack now. Okay, so the geopack is loaded. So then the PDF document, I'm going to take the first AG, it's AG1. Okay. So
Sorry, Liz, we
AG1.
can't see your screen.
Oh, let me stop sharing and then
Okay,
start
now
again.
we can.
Oh, no, I just stopped the sharing.
Sorry.
Let me just do it again. No, it's fine. Tell me when you guys can see my screen.
Now we can.
Okay, so this is the PDF document, okay, of AG1, okay, and so I'm working on one screen now here, and this is the QGIS file. So I'm going to go to AG1. This is AG1. So you'll see that there's one route going down here, and then one route going here. And you'll also note there's no access boxes, no joints, nothing. Okay. So with that said, if I go to the PDF, okay, you'll see there is access boxes, and you'll see that the route, this blue one in particular, doesn't correspond on QGIS to the PDF. Okay, meaning I'm going to have to extend this route. Okay, so first thing I'm going to show you is how to extend a route. I'm sure most of you already know this, but I'm just including in the training just in case. Okay, so obviously your lines, your routes are located under the fiber cable. So I'm going to edit the fiber cable and I'm going to edit the span. Let's just see if span is included here. No, the span was not included here. Okay, so we're going to extend the fiber cable and then add the span. Okay, so to extend the fiber cable, you go to that icon there. It's edit an existing tool, an existing, what do you call it? Existing route line feature. Okay, so according to that as built, the route should be running like this. It went a little bit over there. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry guys. One thing I forgot to mention is Before I'll add any features or anything, I'll clean up the section that I'm working on first, just to give me a better view. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just cleaning up this section. Okay, don't do what I did just now. Remember to put on your snapping options. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm just cleaning up. Oh goodness. What am I doing? I'm just cleaning up this section. Okay. I just want to check this cable is bothering me. So there's that cable. This cable is not supposed to go up. It's supposed to stop at this manhole. See, this is the problem with the CAMLs. It's sometimes drawn incorrectly with the actual information being filled in on the PDF in text format. So you guys will just have to keep an eye on things like this. It has to correspond 100%. Okay. So just lost. And here's the problem. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I just want to move the span so it doesn't confuse us. Okay, so I'm currently busy with this route and this one here. Okay. So first thing I want to do now is I just want to check the span. Oh, and this is so wonderful. No span was provided. Okay, but it's usually a tube. So this is retractor. That's most probably why they didn't provide a span. Jack, can you just confirm? I know when we did retractor, we put it into a sleeve. When you guys did retractor way back when, did you direct bury it or did you also put it in a sleeve?
It's usually in a sleeve, but I don't know of a lot of retractor net on the GPON network. It's mostly on AE. The retractor net we've got on our GPON network is that VGRA one that's over. But it should be in a sleeve. I'm not sure which area are you busy with?
This is Atlasville.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was northern. I wasn't involved in any of the northern stuff. Not sure. Sorry,
Okay,
Lily.
let's make a default. What is usually the sleeve size
a
that you guys
50
use in
mil.
central?
It
50
should
mil.
be a 50
Okay,
mil. Yeah.
so guys, if you receive a plan like this, I'm sure everybody knows, but just in case, if you see a plan like this where the cable indicates 12 times 2F, okay, instead of just 12F, it means it's a retractor net cable. It's a different type of cable, okay? So where you see retractor net and the ducts, the spans is not indicated, okay, then as per default, use a 50mm sleeve to for your span. Okay. So
sorry,
in this
Lisa.
case, already, yes.
With the AE that we did in Central, on the KMLs we indicated it was usually a 2-way, 4-way, or 7-way that was used.
No,
And
but
it's used-
retractor net can't go. No, retractor net can't go into a 2-way, a 7-way, or 4-way.
Oh,
Because
okay.
remember, you're using breakout
Mm.
boxes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's retracting it. Okay, now sorry, I'm thinking
it's
about
retracting it.
the upgraded areas now.
Yeah, when they replace it, they'll obviously put in a normal cable and then use a 2-way, 4-way, or 7-way. Well, usually a 2-way or 4-way for the distribution. But in this case, it's retracting it in a northern area. So by default for retracting it, we're going to use a 50mm sleeve on the spans. Just in case, I just want to see if it's maybe indicated on the existing spans. You see, this doesn't make sense. You're saying there's a 2-way duct running here, but you can't put retracting it into a 2-way duct. Okay, we're going to default this one to a 50mm, and we're going to make a note that we have to investigate this with the ANO to confirm it. But for now, we're going with 50mm sleeve. Okay. So in order to add these two root spans, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these two roots. Oh, you see, here's a problem. Because this root running here is also a separate root. It's not connected to this root. It's not the same cable as this root. Because these two roots for AG1, okay, both start at this point, okay, and they end here and over here, meaning that whoever drew this KML just drew the links. They didn't have start and stops for the cables. So meaning this specific project is going to have a lot of editing to do. Okay, so now the cables is how they're supposed to be. Okay, so I've selected the two cables. Then I'm going to say Control C. I'm going to move over to span. I'm going to say Control V. Okay, then I'm going to open it up. It is at the top. I'm going to say here 50mm sleeve. Installation method, trenching. Trench. What material? Oh. Hey Jack, help me out here. Would it be also be HDPE? I'm not sure.
Which one is that? Sorry, Lisa.
For a 50mm sleeve, what material is that?
No, it's usually HDPE.
Is it also okay?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Just
one.
must be able
It's got one hole,
to take
so
weight
it's just
from
one.
the top.
Yeah. Okay, one. And diameter 50mm. Let's see if we've got that here as an option. No, we don't. It's just say unknown, but we already have it. We luckily have it in the span name. Yeah. Okay, so we added those two sleeves. Guys, just keep in mind, most of these existing spans that's in here is going to be incorrect. We're going to have to adjust them. But we'll do it AG per AG. The reason for that is maybe the feeder was, obviously the feeder is maybe a normal cable, and that's maybe where they used a 2-way 1410 or a 4-way 1410, something like that. So we can't just go and delete them now. We'll investigate it as we do the AGs. Okay. So I've got my span in now. My cable routes are correct for the section. Okay, so unedit. Okay, now we need to add the handles. Okay. So as you can see here, the handles was never provided a label. Okay, the handles, breakout boxes, whatever you'd like to call them, distribution boxes. Nowhere on the ASBIL is there any indication of an actual handle number. Okay, so meaning we're going to give them numbers ourselves now. Okay, so first things first is we need to go and place them. So this is where having an additional screen really comes handy. Sorry. It really comes in handy because it's easier to track. I'm currently working on one screen, so I'm going to switch between screens all the time. So from at the bottom here, from what we can see, you've got route 1 and you've got route 2. So start your labeling at the first route, which would then be this one. So this will obviously be handle 1, handle 2, handle 3, handle 4, handle 5, and handle 6. Okay, so let's just see their placement. So the first one is there across the road. And then the second one is in between those two houses. Then those two. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they put them so close, but okay. Those two, then the next one, and the next one. So, but try placing them in sequence. Okay, when I come to the advanced method of doing this, you'll understand what I'm saying. Place them in a sequence or create them in a specific sequence, because that will make your labeling a lot easier. Because part of the advanced side that I'm going to show you guys is how to do what do you call it? Automatic labeling. Sorry, my English is not very good today. Sorry, I just want to check. It looks like somebody's trying to join. I don't see anything. Okay. Okay. So first off, we need to place the handles. Handles is located under your structure layer. So you go to edit, place a new feature. So then I'm gonna click here, make sure that it snaps. Okay. Then you don't fill in the object ID. Here you're gonna say AB001. I like to copy this. Inventory status installed. Subtype code. It's a handle. Structure size is small. Structure used, so we don't fill that in. Material, it's fiberglass. Owner, we don't fill in. That we don't fill in. Installation date, we don't fill in. Manufacturer, we don't fill in. Model number and comments, we don't fill in. Okay, so this is the default values of the access box. Okay, unless they actually provide you with a access box number, whatever it may be on the PDF or on the splicing diagrams. Okay, then you put that number in here. If they don't provide you with any number, then you create a labeling sequence. Okay. But please keep in mind, you can't create your own labels. Even if the ASBIL doesn't have labels on them, okay, but the splicing sheet does. You can't just go and create your own labels, okay, because the splicing sheet references those labels. So if the references on the actual plan does not match the splicing sheet, then we're going to have trouble. Okay, so if you find an area where the splicing sheet is labeled, where you've got access box labels on the splicing sheet, but you don't have on the PDF, please contact me so that I can see what plan we can make for that area. I do have an instruction from John. If we do find an area like that and we can't, there's no way of referencing it because you can't reference a splicing sheet even to the ASBIL, then we do have the mandate from John that we can use our own labeling, and then we just need to update the splicing sheet accordingly. And then we need to inform the Wilma A&O that they need to go and relabel those access boxes on site. So we can do that, but I want to leave that as a last resort. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But for this exercise, there is no access box referencing to any type of splicing sheet or anything. So we can go ahead and relabel these. And then after we're done, and we've uploaded this to FreeGIS, I am sharing the FreeGIS link with the ANOs so that they can see the labeling that we have done, and then they will schedule a relabeling on site from their side. Okay. Okay, so there's my access box 1. Then, as we saw on the asphalt, there's another access box right here. This will now be access box 2. Okay. Sorry guys, and to make it easier for you when you are busy with capturing a new structure and doing the labeling at the same time, we can put it on the label so that you can actually see the feature being labeled. So then you can also note if you maybe missed a label or maybe made a typo or anything like that. Do a background. Oh, sorry. Let me just show you, just in case you don't know. So you right click on the layer that you want to see the labels. You go to properties. Then you go to labels. You select no labels, then select single labels. Then draw background under background and say apply and OK. Yeah, so now you can see the labels that I've added so far. Okay, so no, this one was tricky. So it's the first one there, then it's 2 houses, then it's the second one. There we go. So this is now access box 3. Subtype code is handle, small, fiberglass, and that's it. Come on. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, one, maybe the end of run. Okay. So, just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 4, 5. What else? And then the end of run is right next to 5. That would then be 6. There we go. And we've got all 6 access boxes labeled now. Sorry, see this route running over the house. I just want to move it a little bit. Okay, and then the span as well. There we go. Okay, let me just see the placement here. So we stopped at 6 there, so we're going to go on with 7 here. 7, 8, so it's there in the middle, then on the corner. Good. So the first line that I showed you here is, you do each one by one. The other way I can show you how to do it is sorry, I'm on the wrong layer, is to place them, still place them one by one. But only fill in the structure name at this point. Okay, so this would then be 7. Eight. Nine. Literally between each and every house that they put this. That makes sense, but okay. I'll make sure of this one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Oh, sorry. This one needs to move up here. Okay. Then 13 right in the middle. Come on. Okay, 14 there. So, maybe we lost you. Okay, so we placed all our handles. Now we need to go fill in the information because as you can see, they all have question marks, meaning that we didn't fill in the attribute information on them. Okay, so we've quickly placed all of them. Now we just go and select all of these handles that we just created. We open the attribute sheet and you can either manually go and fill this in or you can just use the calculator. Update existing field, inventory status, all unique, installed as put. Okay, next one, subtype code. So we select subtype code here. Under fields and values, we also select the subtype code, handle. Okay. Structure size. And lastly, material. Come on. Sorry, I don't know. It's a bit slow. It takes long to open up, but it's because I'm sharing. For some other reason, while I'm sharing, my QGIS is a little bit slower than usual. There we go. So we filled in all the fields required here. Then we just say save. I'll edit, deselect, and now you see all of them are now reflecting as a handle and no longer a question mark. Okay. Now we see that there's this feeder route. And then according to the as-built, the feeder route obviously goes across the road to here. Kunrad, I'm assuming you did not put in this handle because it's already located on one of the other projects that this, or the other AG that this leads to. Am I assuming right? Kunrad? Oh goodness, we didn't invite Conrad to the session. Okay, it's fine. I'll just share it with him. But usually if it's not included here, it means that this mantle is probably linked to another fiber code. So he didn't include it here because otherwise it's going to overlap. Okay. But even if that's not the case, Conrad will pick it up when he does the quality check and upload, because it knows that I have to upload if this fiber here is just hanging in the, or, there's no end point to it. So then he will correct it on his side, if that's not the case. Okay. So with that said, we can see that the feeder route and the distribution route is in the same line here. So now we just need to go and clean up this section. Okay. Oh, wait, before we do that, guys, always check your cable to see if it's snapped when you place new features. So if I do this, you see that means it's snapped, okay? Because sometimes when you place features on a line string, it doesn't snap for some other reason. And it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. I think like here, yeah, you can see this one isn't snapped. So just go and snap it. Okay. This one's also not snapped. 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 Okay, so the way I did this now is I added the span and everything before I added the handles. Okay, meaning that we're going to have to snap the fiber cables and we're going to have to snap the span layer as well afterwards. Okay, which is a sort of a duplication of work. So what you can do is you can firstly go and place all your handles and then do your span snapping and then your cable snapping. But I prefer to do a cleanup beforehand and then doing the snapping afterwards. It's just it just gives you a better view of what you're working with. But yeah, it is a little bit of a duplication of work doing it like this. And okay, now everything is snapped. Now we need to snap the feeder cable to the distribution route here. So according to the as-built, we can see that they tie together at that point. So, okay, so I've only cleaned it up to this point, as we're currently only busy with AG1. Okay. But what you guys can do is you can do your whole cleanup first. But I wouldn't do that in a case like this because of, as you guys saw, the distribution routes aren't drawn in correctly. It's like one line. They just pushed one line through. And as you can see, these lines, it's not the same 24 fiber that's running here. It's not running here as well. It's a different one. So that's why in this case, I would take it AG for AG and then clean it up while I'm doing the AG, just to make sure that the information that I'm loading is as accurate as possible. Okay, so we've now added the access boxes. So you can either do the same on the splice closures, okay? Or what you can do is you can, because obviously we know there's a joint in each one of these access boxes. Okay, so you can just go and this is what I would do. Okay, you can either go and manually add them like you did the access boxes now, or you can just go and select all of these access boxes. Sorry, just make sure you're on the correct layer when you're doing selecting, not like I did now. There we go. We say Control C. Then we go to the splice closure layer. Control V. Open it up. So then what I would do is just go DJ. So you just go manually change all the ABs to DJs. Usually in a retracting area, this is actually called a tap out box. But we're trying to keep a naming convention here more or less. So let's go with distribution joints. Because otherwise we're going to get questions. Okay, there's a tap out box here. What does a tap out box mean? So everybody has different abbreviations for the different types of materials. We're sticking with distribution joint, feeder joint, link joint, whatever the case might be. Chain. And I mean that on a naming convention side, I mean. Joint and joint and dome joint and dome joint. Okay. Then we have to fill in the rest of the attributes here. So for that, I'd like to use the field calculator. It's usually not this slow. It's just because I'm sharing. Splice number, or these are nutty. Sorry, splice number, structure name, because the splice number and the structure name is precisely the same thing. Placement type, come on. Why you gotta be this slow? Okay. Placement type. Placement type. This is underground. Comments my type. Okay, splice category. This would obviously be distribution. Okay. In the splice enclosure type, it's a text field. So this would be out. So this is where you can fill in the type of joint that was used. Come on. There we go. Save. There we go. So now all the splice closures for this distribution is added. Another thing I just noticed is that the AG manuals doesn't have joints in them on this specific project. So if you do find something like this, I just want to clean this section up. I want to link it. So you can see the joint, the manual is there, but there's no joint being referenced there. So I'm guessing there is no joint in there. But we know for a fact there's definitely a joint in here, this one here. So let's see if the as-built references any joint information or label. No, it does. On the splicing side, no, it does not. It only references a cable. No joints being referenced. Okay, so in a case like this, the joints aren't labeled. So I just want to say dismiss all. Come on, dismiss. What the hell? Sorry, this thing is jumping around now. Okay, so it's the distribute of the feeder joints or AG joints is not being referenced in the as-built at all. So we're going to give them our own label. Edit. I'm going to select this manual. Okay. Let's bring it to the top. There it is. So I'm going to Control C this manual. And I'm going to go and paste it over to the splice enclosure. Here it is. And I just want to copy this name. Here. Control C. I'm going to put it in here. But I'm going to say, instead of a manual, I'm going to say feeder joint. No, it's not a feeder joint. It is an AG manual. It would be a feeder joint. That means that there is a feeder root missing up there, or a link. I think this would be a link joint. Let's quickly check. In fact, this is there, eh?
Lisa, these plans were just done per block. So if you want feeders and links, it would be on the KML for AE.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Open here, there's no link here. So you've got the feeder cable running here, and you've got an AG manual here, but there's no link between the feeder and the AG distributions. You see that? That's my brain tells me there has to be at least a link cable running from this section to that section. Okay.
It makes sense that there would be a link.
Yeah. So yeah, this is very weird. Sorry, I'm just picking this up now. I just want to see if I can maybe find that information somewhere. But I don't think so.
Wouldn't this information be on the FI and SI documents? Because there's a feeder plan on those FI SIs.
I'll look there now. So this is just the distribution. I just want to see if there's maybe something here. This is the distribution rate. Also distribution. Okay, meaning I'm gonna have to go and search for this information. Oh, come on. Sorry. Let's just wait for it to respond. Oh. Come on. Really? Good. I guess I'm actually going to spend my whole computer. If nothing else wants to work. Yes, Atlas. Well, 2024, 2022, 2024, 12, 12, 12, 2023, 12, third month, 12, third month. Oh, that's Atlas Mall. This is Atlas Mall. Right, these two were created on the same day by two different people, so I just want to see what information it has in. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, just bear with me while this thing loads.
Sorry, Lisa, I'm not sure if you're explaining anything. You're muted.
Oh goodness, when is the last time you guys could hear me? Oh goodness.
It's probably about 5-10 minutes. You were still looking for the fiber allocations.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, let me stop. Okay. So let me backtrack. Okay. So guys, what we noticed here, as you guys know, the way our network is built is I'm going to work it from the back going forward now. Okay. So you always have a distribution layer that's linked to either a link layer or a feeder layer. Okay. So your distribution layer should be linked to either a blue cable or a green cable. I'm sorry, I'm just explaining this to the rest of the team, Yanni and oh goodness, what's your name? Again. Neander. Yanni and Neander already knows this, but just for the rest, I'm just explaining for you guys. Okay, so you've got your distribution layer, which is your red cables. You've got your blue layer, your blue cables, which is your link cables, and then you've got your green cables, that's your feeder cables. And now the section to this is you've got your core cables, that's orange cables, but we're not capturing the orange cables currently. So you start at the green cables. Okay, so what we noticed on this ad book is that we don't have a link between where the red cable starts and the green cable is, meaning the blue cable is missing here. Okay, so usually the green cable and the blue cable needs to be captured and filled in by Peter or Kunrad, depending on what area it is. In this area, it's Kunrad, because he is Northern. Okay, so this is not something that usually needs to be captured by you guys, but I'm going to show you how to do it, okay, or how to find the information. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, I would suggest sending the GeoPack back to the person that did the conversion so that they can add this information in. Feeder cable and link cables needs to be captured by Peter or Kunrad, okay, in actual fact. So with that said, we realized that there's no blue cable that links this AG manual to the feeder route. Okay. So now I have to go and check where is the blue cable supposed to run that's supposed to be here at manual 16. Okay. So I went to the FISI. Okay. So I looked for manual 16, found manual 16. Manual 16 is directly linked to manual 20. Okay. And if I go check on the asphalt, manual 20 is located over here. Obviously, manual 20 has not been captured on this geopack because it forms part of another area as well, it seems. Okay, so this manual is captured or will be captured on FreeGIS. Our QGIS file will just link into that manual. Okay, but now we know there's a blue cable that's supposed to be a link cable that's supposed to be running from manual 20 all the way up to manual 16. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Manual 16 over there. Okay. So I look at the SI and I see that it's a 96 fiber cable. It's link cable number 2 for AG1. And I see the Atlasville abbreviation. Okay. So that's the abbreviation that I'm using for the labeling. So we're going to have to create a label because labels weren't created for these cables. Okay. So with that said, I created this label over here for the link cable that we need to include. So then I'm going back to QGIS, and now I know I need to draw in the blue cable from this point over here up to manual 16. So I'm starting to draw it in. Remember, snapping, even though the cable doesn't run via these or doesn't connect to these handles or splice closures, we still need to snap it because otherwise it's not 100% going to overlap. At each point, maybe in at manual 16, right click. Come on. Okay, then it opens up the attribute tables, and then we just pull in the information. So there's the label that I created for the cable. Cable category, in this case, it's a link cable. So we select linked fiber. We don't fill in used for. Inventory status, installed as built. Placement type is underground. Cable type is loose tube. Buffer count, what's the buffer count for 96? It's 8. Sorry, my math isn't working today. Let's get the calculator. Come on. Oh goodness, this thing is slow. 96 divided by 12. Yeah, I was right. It's 8. Okay. So buffer count is going to be 8. Fiber to buffer is 12. And fiber count is then your 96. There we go. And then the comment section on the cable should always be capital letter N. Okay. There we go. So now we've added the blue cable. So if we switch off the red cable here and the green cable, you'll see there's the blue cable. Okay. So guys, I did show you how to do this now. Okay. But if you feel uncomfortable at all with reading these FISIs, okay, I do think it's a good thing for Tori and Bianca and Elizabeth and Elena to familiarize yourself with the FISIs at this point. Okay. But like I said, the feeder and the link cable is the responsibility of Peter and Kunra to actually capture this information. Okay. So from what I can see on this whole plan, it doesn't look like any link cables has been captured. I think this is your project, so I will be sending this back to Kunra to capture the link cables for you in this case. Okay, but guys, as if you run into a project like this and there's maybe just one link cable that you're spotting that's missing, don't send it back to Peter and to Kunra. Just add that link cable yourself. If you are unsure of how to read that plan or anything like that, just get a hold of Peter and Kunra, ask them for their input, and then add the link cable and take from there. I don't want to sending things back if it's only one cable. In this case, it's every single link cable on this project that was missed. Okay, so this one we're going to send back. Okay, but I'm still using it as an example. Okay, so there's a link cable. We've now put it in. I just want to make sure that I've put everything on again. Yes, I did. Okay, there we go. So block 1, AG1 done. Okay, so this took very, very long to do, and I do understand that. One thing I did not share with you guys is that I think the targets, I did explain to John, that manual capturing is coming in and everything. I already reduced the targets on Friday, but they're going to be further reduced. But before I reduce them further, I first want us to do a few of these projects and want to see how much time it takes so that I can give a more accurate target. So I don't want to reduce the target now to 80,000, but with the time it takes to actually do this, you guys will only maybe be able to do 50,000. So I want to be accurate with the numbers more or less, well, as accurate as I can be in forecasting. So I'm testing it this month, and then I'm going to adjust the targets accordingly. Okay, so yes, I am aware this takes a lot more time to do, and we are adjusting the targets according to that. I know that question would have come in at some point. Sorry, guys. There's just one thing that I also noticed now. So obviously the link cable and the feeder cables are normal cables, okay? Meaning that they have normal cuts. So in this case, it's a two-way cut. It would be a 2 by 14 because there's no way the Max 6 cable will fit into an 8.5. So it will be a 14 or a 10, well, I'm going to go with 14. So yes, I'm thumb sucking it. But we know that it's a two-way and we know it can't be a 8.5. So I'm going to go for the bigger one as a default. Okay. So I'm just this what do you call it, span in. So to do that, I'm just going to switch off the distribution layer and the feeder layer, and I'm going to go and select cable, which is cable, and add the span in here. Open it. I'm going to say two-way duct, and it's moment changed. Material is HDPE. It's a two-way, and it's a 1410. Oh, here we go. Save and edit. There we go. Oh, goodness, what did I click now? Sorry. There we go. Okay, so I've added that span in. So now I know the span for this section on this block is correct. The link cable is added. The feeder cable is there. Now I just want to go and relabel these distribution routes as well. Because like I said, the fiber cable labeling is also missing on these on this specific project. So guys, I took a worst case scenario project for this training session. Okay, so not all the projects that you guys are currently that's assigned to you has this much of editing required or manual capturing required. Some of them only requires access points and distribution joints. But in this specific case, it requires a lot of editing. Okay. Okay, so I've selected my distribution cables. And from the PDF file, I just want to go back in on the distribution side. Zoom out a bit. Come on. Okay, so we know that. Okay, but guys, keep in mind that every block is going to have a route 1, a route 2, a route 3, or whatever the case might be. So I'm going to start with labeling the distribution routes with DC cable 1, DC cable 2, DC cable 3, and as we go along, we just it just calculates up. Okay. So just to make it a unique number. So we can see here that route 1 is a 12 times 2 retractor cable. Okay, so for my distribution cable 1, I'm going to use this naming convention here. Here we go. So we know that this is distribution cable 1. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to say move the selected feature to the top, like I did there. And I'm going to go and change the cable name. Okay. There we go. That one is added. I'm going to minimize. I'm going to select the second one. Second one is a, oh goodness, sorry. Let me, oh, it's fine. Okay, so there's a feeder cable there and the link cable. Why am I not seeing the distribution cable? Sorry, let me just select only the distribution cable. There we go. Okay, there it is. This is DC 2, distribution cable number 2, and this is a 24 times 2F. There we go. Save. There we go. Okay, so now I have labeled those 2 distribution cables as well. Now this feeder cable is also not labeled, so now I need to go to the FISI and see what this feeder cable should be. AG1 street cabinet. Link cable. Where is the feeder cable?
I think these are all just link cables. I think if you scroll down to the bottom somewhere, there should be a
yeah.
feeder plan.
I think I saw a different PDF that said feeder. Let's quickly check. Splicing and floating instructions. Oh, this is just link. Street cabinet. Here we go. No, it's all only link cables, no feeder cables. Let's quickly check. I think I saw a PDF. Ah, here it is. Download. Come on, open up. I'm guessing that's only a one pager. Load 2 times 288 and 144 Atlas Ball street cabinet. 21 as indicated. This doesn't really make sense to me. It's between to slack each manual. No, this won't work. Sorry, guys. This doesn't make sense to me because it's only indicating this one section of it where we have a massive feeder cable running all through that little. As you can see. So this is not sufficient. See if I can find anything else. Just AGs. Okay, let me see if I can see what information we do have for this feeder on this CAML. Come on, open up. We have no information for any of the feeder cables. Jack, am I reading this feeder instruction on?
Lisa, I think maybe the feeders are split up for each AG, so it just shows the section that goes to that AG from the previous one.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It doesn't. So it should be linked to manual 20. There's no reference to manual 20. It starts at 22 and then goes to 21. Let's see if that's
on the
included
FISI where it
on-
shows the manuals, because there's a page on the FISI where it shows all of the manuals. Doesn't that have the feeder?
FISI where it shows all the manuals. Let's quickly go back there. Sorry, but I think I just spotted what I was missing in my brain. So let's zoom out. Let's start at the top here. Splash plane. Oh, manual 22. There's manual 22. Sorry, I just want to quickly check between all these different plans. There's 23, there's 20. manual 22. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, there's a street cabinet on Raya Road. Okay, let's just orientate ourselves here. Raya Road. Why does this look different? Raya Pheasant. Unless the street names may be changed. Got Raya Road here, but don't have Peasant Road. Okay, but we do have AG Manual 22 referenced here. 22. And then there's a feeder cable and up here. So would I then be correct in assuming that this plan here, this is actually a core cable or a core cable? But it's feeding manual 22 and manual 21.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
Lizzie, you
two.
broke up there.
No, I'm saying that it doesn't make sense to me because this is Raya Road, this is Pheasant Road. Oh no, sorry, that's Permanent Road. And if I look over here, this is Pheasant Road, this is Raya Road. It doesn't, I'm not at this the right location here,
Yeah, it doesn't look like the right location.
it seems. Atlas Mall, let's see, where's Atlas
On
Mall?
on
It's
the
here.
geopack, did you put the street cabinets?
Check for you now. I don't think
Then
so
you
because
can
that would
just
be on the
zoom
pool,
to
would it not?
feature.
Let's quickly check. It would be under the structure. Don't see street cabinets here. What is this? Why is it saying extra large? Oh, this is manuals. Okay, but there's manual 21. Let's quickly go here. There's Atlas Mall. This is where the pop is. Oh, there's a problem here. There's the problem. Sorry, let me just quickly check here. Okay, guys, these as-built are incorrect.
I
There
think the
should
problem
be
is the KML and
AG2.
the as-built.
Yeah,
They
so
don't have the
according
correct, yeah.
yeah, according to this to the feeder SI, this is 82 manual 22. Okay, that's why I can get the correct location there. And let's quickly check here. Yeah. So just to explain what I'm seeing here now, if it doesn't make sense. So we are currently busy in AG1, which is down here, but that feeder instruction for AG1 is actually AG2's feeder instruction, but the labeling was changed to AG1. So that's why it doesn't correspond currently. So this plan here is actually for this feeder cable here, this green one here. But it should go up to there, it shouldn't stop there. So we don't have any feeder information here. I'm gonna have to look around for it. Okay, guys, I think on this project, Jack, tell me if you don't agree with me. But I think what we're going to have to do here is let's clean it up. Let's do the distribution and the links, and the feeder cable we confirm with the guys on site, and then we add the feeder cables. So we don't put this project on hold. It's while we're doing the cleanup and the renaming and all of that, we ask them to go and confirm the feeder cables for us. I don't know, Jack, what do you think in a case like this?
Jack's not on the call anymore. He had to drop off.
Oh, wonderful. Is there anybody else that maybe has an input here? Yanni, do you maybe have other way of thinking around this?
To get the information now would be the best to just, like you said, get the guys on site. I do know this is one of the
Yeah.
reasons they did the upgrade projects in that Oki's busy with. So that could be another option, just cleaning up and waiting for them.
Okay.
Because I know
Let's-
Oki's busy in Northern as well.
Yes. Okay. So after this session, I'll give Oki a call and ask him to maybe prioritize this area's feeder cables. But I'll also dig around and see what I can find. But yeah, the feeder cables on this project is a mess, from what I can see. Okay, but nevertheless, this is the manual capturing side of things. It's training for manual capturing. So if we just get back to that. So guys, in this specific project, the access boxes needed to be added, the splice closures need to be added, and the fiber cables needed to be relabeled. So we've done that for everything except the feeder cables, because we don't have enough information on the feeder cables. So on the feeder side, what you'll do is you'll just clean up the feeder in a case like this, and then you'll add the rest of the information that's missing. We will go and fix the feeder cable afterwards, after we receive the necessary information. Okay, so sorry, I'm just quickly checking, just thinking if I maybe missed anything. Okay, so I showed you guys how to do the manual capturing of a handle and of a splice closure, how to do how to copy the handles over to the splice enclosure, just so that you don't have to manually add them. I showed you a shortcut in creating, manually placing them, and then going to the attribute table afterwards to go and populate the rest of the information. So I'm just checking with myself to see if there's anything that I missed. Okay, so I think I've covered all of that now. Now there's one other option that we have when we create for a project like this that doesn't have any labeling references on their distribution routes. Okay, so the other option that we have is for automatic labeling. Okay, but you need to keep a clear head on this. So I'm just going to do this now as an example. Okay, I'm not sure if I should show you guys this because this can be very confusing. I'm just going to do it. Okay. So what I would do in a case like this for myself, but this is just for myself, it just makes life, or it makes it a lot easier or faster for me. Okay, so I would go and create a duplicate structure layer. And this is why I'm saying that you guys will need to keep a clear head if you decide to do it this way. So I'll just create a scratch layer. Oh, no, man, what am I doing? I've got a scratch layer that I use for everything. Overwrite file. Okay, so now I've created a duplicate structure layer. Just going to rename it and say dupe struct. Okay. In this layer, you will then see everything that's currently on the structure is in this layer now as well. It's a duplicated layer. Okay, so I'll just keep the duplicate structure layer there for now. I'm going to work on the actual structure layer. So what I would do then is I'm going to delete all the manuals and stuff that was here in what that was in here initially. I'm going to delete it out. Okay, so the only ones I left now was the access boxes and those, but I'm going to delete that out as well, because obviously we're working with you starting from scratch. Okay, so delete. splice closure layer. Okay, I'm not going to delete the splice closure layer. I'm just going to leave that in because you'll obviously just, once you're done with the structure layer, you just copy and paste it over to your structure layer. Okay, so I created the duplicated layer now. Now I want to go and manually add my features here. Okay, but I want to do it in a way that labeling is done automatically. Okay. So to do that, I'm first going to open the attribute table. Just bear with me here. I've done this once before. So just need to keep my views here. Okay. So what I would do is create an extra attribute table. Okay. And I'm going to call it label. Okay, I'm going to make it a text value. I'm going to say the length of it can be up to 4 characters. So I just want to move it here. Okay. Why doesn't it allow me? Create new field label. What am I missing here? Sorry, I'm just quickly checking. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Go here, add a field, label, text string. I want to make it at least 4 characters. Okay. So I've added a label layer here. Okay. So sorry, I'm just quickly calculating in my head how this is going to work. So it's going to be AB plus the FID. Okay, yes, it will work. I'm going to save that. And then I am going to place the features. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm just doing this as an example now. So I'm going to go here. I'm not going to fill in anything at this point. Okay, so that's the first one, second one. So I'm literally only placing the access boxes now, not filling in anything. Okay, so I'll place those access boxes now. And I did it in a specific sequence, so where I started, where I stopped. Okay, now I'm going to open the attribute table. And I just want to see if it will create an FID for me. If I save, there it goes. So it created an FID sequence. Okay, no guys, this isn't going to work. Sorry, the FID is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why it's creating it like this. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to show you guys this now. I'm first going to figure out why it's creating an FID. It's not creating it in a numbering sequence. So what was supposed to happen here is this FID is supposed to populate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This label here would have been populated with AB hyphen. Then I would have used the formula to say that this here should be a combination of the label field and the FID field. But the FID field is not working with us currently. So I can't show you how to do this now. Okay, I first need to figure out why this is not calculating correctly. Okay, so scratch the one that I showed you. And once I figure it out, I'll inform you guys, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, guys, I know this was awful, and it was confusing with a lot of missing information, but do you guys have any questions or concerns at this point? Okay, just as a recap, the training that you should take away from this training session is how to place an access box, which I've showed you guys, how to place splice closure, so you can either do it manually or you can just copy and paste it from the handles and structure. Okay, and then just go change it from what you take, like, or
Is everyone still here or is it my network?
It's breaking up a lot on my side as well.
Hi, Les. Hi. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Bye. Did you guys get that?
No?
Oh, sorry. She just called me. She said her laptop completely bombed out and I must stop the recording and that we will end here for now. I'm not sure how to stop the recording. Can somebody just stop it?
We can't stop it from our side. I think maybe if we all leave the meeting, then it'll stop.
Okay, let's do that then.
Cool.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye.